Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So I'm up bright and early, mind, body, and soul every day. It's how we get through. Got to program hard every single day. Got to study, work out, eat well, stay on your program, learn every day. That's how we beat depression. That's how we beat PTSD. That's how we conquer anxiety. This is self-care, self-management, self-mastery. So let's get into today's lesson. I've been studying Buddhism. Just seems to be the flavor of the month. Been reading this book that I've been getting into. It's easy to read, which I like. It's called Buddhism, Plain and Simple, by Steve Hagen. Good book. I recommend it. In this morning's reading, I was learning about the main causes of suffering. Of craving, wanting, and desiring. You know, that's all kind of one thing. Kind of all leads to attachment. This clutching to life. Clutching to things, people, emotions. It's a real big cause of suffering, the main cause of suffering, and it's divided into three parts. So craving has three aspects. There's three parts to craving that torture us. And this is largely, I think, solely self-inflicted. I mean, we do have external suffering, but even that, even torture that someone puts upon you, can be overcome simply by your focus, your outlook, your perception. You don't have to fall apart when bad shit happens. You don't have to suffer. A lot of times it's a choice. I know that sounds weird. But let's just get into it. The first aspect, the first part of craving, got a little list here, is sensual desire. Sensual desire can torture us. It's basically attachment, clutching to sex, clutching to love, clutching to the validation that somebody else may give us. That shit can drive people away. I mean, you know this. You have to give people space, give people freedom. You can't own them or possess them. Sometimes we want to. Even speak in terms of this, she belongs to me. You know, like we own her. That's why it's so painful for some guys when relationships break up, because you feel like a part of you has been torn off of your body because you took possession of this person when you shouldn't have. You owned them. You sewed them, grafted them to you, like you're a symbiote. Fucking Siamese twins. It should have been two individuals. The thing about it is you have all the love that you need inside of you. You don't look for love in external sources. That's a source of suffering. Because when we think we have love in external sources, we're denying the love that's within ourselves, naturally within ourselves. We let that flame burn out, and that's it. Once that happens, that's it. But when we look for it in external sources, we clutch to it like a dog to its food dish. We're gaining sustenance from someone else. Someone else is feeding us energy, feeding us love. Please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. How many of you have been there with your old lady? Saying shit like that, being a sucker like that. I have. Everybody's going to leave you at some point. Everybody's going to die at some point. When it comes down to it, when you lay your head down, I don't care who's next to you in the bed, you're the only one inside your head. You can be lonely in this world or you can be alone in this world. It just depends on that mentality. One's the mentality of a weakling, the other one's the mentality of a warrior. Which one are you going to be? A warrior doesn't clutch or attach to the love of others. We practice self-love. We have so much in us that it overflows. We give love, we don't take it. We're not vampires. We're sources. We're the well. Go to the next one. I don't know why I put my list so far away. I don't feel like reaching across the table to get it. The next source of suffering, of craving, There's 3 sources of craving. That's what the list is today. From a Buddhist perspective, is the thirst for existence. Thirst for existence. The thirst for life, clutching to life. You so desperately want to live today. You don't want to die today. Today's a terrible day to die. That's the mantra of the weakling, the frightened, the fearful. Today's a good day to die. That's the enthusiasm of the warrior. Not that they're running to their death, but they're not clutching to life like a child attached to mommy's skirt. Some people ruin their lives by clutching to life so much, living in fear. Look at how some of these people are reacting to this virus and the pandemic. Ruin their lives. Look how some people respond and react to trauma that they have in their lives. They ruin their lives. I've done this. A few things bad happened to me and I ruined the rest. I tried to, luckily I snapped out of it, but I tried to ruin the rest of my life. Feeling justified, feeling doomed. Like that was the righteous way to be. Made myself so fearful of death in general that I clutched to life with this desperation. At the same time, that's why it's so ironic, you miss out on life by clutching so hard. Staying in your comfort zone, creating safe spaces. Looking at life through this filter of good and evil, danger and safety. That's extreme weakness. That's bitch shit. Let's go to the last one. The last one is the converse of the second one. It's the thirst for death. People have a thirst for death. There's a lot of them out there. I was like this. I wasn't suicidal in the traditional sense where I was going to put a gun in my mouth or take a bunch of sleeping pills like Marilyn Monroe or something. I wasn't like that. I was more self-destructive. That's where a lot of my criminal behavior came from. I would do shit that I kind of hoped that would end me up dead or in a prison cell for the rest of my life. I was sick of life. It wasn't going so well. I didn't feel in control. I was so weak, I was like a pinball inside a pinball machine, just being bounced around. Not taking control of my thoughts. My thoughts felt like a herd of cats, just all going different directions, and I couldn't control them. I felt tortured. And all I need is that release. Just, please, take me. I beg for death, pray for death. Looking at my death as the greatest day of my life, and what a sad way to live. Because I'll finally be released from this torture, from the pain, from the suffering. You clutch to death, you'll miss out on your life. That's why they talk about go with the flow. In Taoism, it's called Wu Wei. It's a form of non-action, but it's not laziness or apathy. It's just not controlling, letting things happen. Kind of like sailing. A master sailor doesn't control the wind. They just respond to it properly. Stop being attached to things. Stop clutching to things. Stop being that little child gripping to mommy's skirt. Allow life to happen. Surf those waves. Enjoy it. It's all just food for thought. Thanks for watching.